Let's get cracking!
Welcome back, everybody, to the Dota 2 Champions League. We are getting into the U.S. division, where we're going to be seeing Dream Destroyers facing up against Navi Vincere. Not as Vincere. Jesus, Navi Vincere. Not as Vincere U.S. Now, what is going to be happening tonight? We were originally supposed to have two different two-game series. Unfortunately, the other one, CNB, they pulled a wild card on theirs. Every team has one wild card, so basically they're able to reschedule one match only during a group stage. They went ahead and used theirs, so we're going to only have this two-game series to be casting. So let's jump right into it, shall we? As I welcome in my co-caster. Come with me. He's going to be joining me once again.
Hello.
So we are seeing. I come with me. I know you're actually you're friends with some of the guys on the side of Navi US, right?
Yeah, I played with some of them before in the same team.
Yeah, Super Strong Dinosaurs going back. Was it Snaking was on that team? Who else was on that team?
Yes, Fog played for a while, if I'm not wrong. We tried out or something.
Yeah,
and,
I think I remember
1437 played with me before as well. We played in like two separate teams perhaps or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Now, this other team, though, is a team, I don't know if, do you recognize any of the names?
No.
Okay, so I only recognize a couple of names, and that's just because, you know, going back to the U.S. scene, that's where my roots are. So I recognize some names like Bloody, who I believe is known as Bloody 9. Fanny,
oh, yes, I know him.
Fanny
but
as well as Justin.
I only know Bloody from some IXL games.
Yeah. That's actually where, if you guys, for those of you guys out there who are trying to make the leap from amateur to competitive play, NEL is a great place for you to be able to get some exposure to some of these guys in their element and probably get flamed in the process. But it is also some good training ground for you. Better certainly than just playing ranked matchmaking.
It's worth it. Do it.
Yeah. Yeah. See, come with me. It's all over it because, you know, come with me. You've got a reputation for being a flamer.
Yeah, I know.
So you're right in your element. You're right in your element there at NEL, huh?
Well, I mean, it's more like a fun thing usually, actually, because in in-houses, like in old times in Dota 1, I used to play in in-house called IHCS, and that's where everybody used to play. And back in then, there were people like Light of Heaven would be super legendary. So Russian players were like the flavor in the league, and everybody would just flame me for fun all the time. And we kind of like got ourselves into a flaming circle, but never really meant it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, that's very similar to, I think, how the North American scene works. You know, it's there's a lot of flaming that goes on, and I think some like outsiders will look in on it and go, Jesus Christ, they're so bad mannered. But like, you know, it's just part of the culture. It's just, you know.
Yeah,
it's like I hold no ill will to anybody who's ever flamed me in any of my NEL games, because, you know, like I've flamed other people sometimes. I try and hold back a little bit, but
I think everybody flames, man. You can't say that nobody flames.
Yeah, it's all just for good fun, and it just, you know, gives you a thick skin. Which is important when playing on a team, right? Because criticism, being able to take criticism and learn from it and move on, and not just get all butthurt about it.
Yeah, it's very important that you don't take it personal in the first place. Because the moment you do, the hate starts, and that's when things fall apart.
Mm-hmm. So we are going to be seeing in this strat some pretty standard stuff. We got a Death Prophet, Earthshaker, and Venomancer on one side of the pool for Dream Destroyers, while Navi, they went ahead and picked themselves up both the Razor and the Viper as a 1-2 combo. Normally these heroes, I've been saying that they fulfill a very similar role, though I much prefer the Razor. I am not really down with the Viper too much, and I don't believe you are either. I think we've had this discussion, right?
Yeah, I mean, Viper. Disgusting.
He's certainly a hero that has to do really well in the beginning of the game. Like, he is a lane dominator. If he fails his lane, he is 99% of the time completely useless throughout the rest of the game.
Can't really say that it's completely useless. It's just its impact on the game. It's not as big. It's really small.
Not as much as a core, not as big of an impact as a core should have.
But if you take a look at the current draft, just by what they have so far, I'm guessing this is going to be a Viper short lane and a Razor mid. Case in which Viper should have an easy way, because when you have Viper and AA, there's no way anybody wants to go aggressive against it.
Right.
The AA buff is making, like, they just have too much damage, basically. You can't tank through it.
Yeah. Absolutely. We did have a couple of bans. The Clockwork as well as the Bat Rider banned away by Dream Destroyers because they want to take away some of those strong initiators. Bat Rider's good versus Death Prophet because you get her out of position and get some crucial time where you're able to initiate before she has that exorcism up. And then, of course, the Clockwork is another strong initiator, but he's a natural blade mail hero as well, which can be pretty important, while the Centaur and Skywrath Mage were banned away by Natus Vincere. Now, they pick up the Mirana here for Dream Destroyers, which gives them, I guess, I don't know, do you think this is going to be a Venomancer core and we're just looking at Earthshaker and Mirana being supports, or?
It could be, but I'm not sure. I guess in this scenario, it would make a bit of sense, but it's still like if DP just goes bottom, then it goes mid.
So the idea being that, see, my idea was them trying to pair the Venomancer up against the Viper or Razor in the mid.
Yeah. No, it should be Razor as far as I'm concerned, but it could be Viper too, I guess.
Either way, Venomancer is one of the few heroes who can actually win the lane against either one of those heroes, right?
Well, he doesn't, like, I mean, I guess it is a win because he farms a lot.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like an even lane because other heroes should be farming as well.
Right, it's just more the fact that many other heroes wouldn't be able to farm as well as a Venomancer.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, okay. Now we have the Nature's Prophet going to be picked up by Na'Vi, so they go and grab themselves the offlaner now. We're just left with a extra support. Dream Destroyers want to ban away the Shadow Demon, who makes a good combo hero with the Razor in many senses, and is also a potential setup hero, though I would have expected something a little bit more of an active stun rather than just disruption, which can function as a stun, but also, you know, makes hero disappear for 2.5 seconds.
So what if DD goes for an aggressive Trillion, actually? I think that would fit them pretty well here.
Are you thinking about running the Earthshaker Mirana as supports with a third hero to be picked up as the carry?
Bottom carry.
Bottom carry with an extra support?
Yeah, exactly. I'd like to see Maiden, actually.
Yeah, I'd be down, really, the Maiden? She's a hero.
It's a very easy setup into a stun, first of all, because in a lane where you might lane against Razor, you want to have something else to start off, because you go on the squishy hero like AA, for example.
Right.
And then you can use the Fissure to block Razor off, so he doesn't steal all the damage and will own you with it.
So basically, you're saying you need two different stuns here. You still need a setup stun for the Mirana to hit the arrow, because your Shaker is going to be focused on. Okay.
And I need something to stop the Razor from killing you.
Okay, but why the Crystal Main specifically here instead of like a hero like Vengeful Spirit? Because my whole thing is like we haven't seen Crystal Main a whole lot.
It's just because he has two nukes, literally. Like the bite and the slow is great.
Right.
And the slow is also AoE.
Okay.
But they went for Panda, so we'll see how this one goes.
Yeah, so all bets are kind of off. Your guesses for the lanes?
Oh, I'm guessing Panda would go offlane unless they want to put it mid, but I don't know how well that goes against the Razor, for example.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, I'm kind of at a loss here. I almost like want to say maybe this is going to be a Venomancer support, but that makes no sense right now. That just like it has to be them trying to pair the Venomancer up against the Razor and Viper.
If they want the solo Shaker, man, they could do it.
The solo Shaker, there we go.
Yeah.
I like that. But But yeah, I think your solution is probably the most likely. Off-lane Brewmaster, and you would have like basically 2 roaming supports between Earthshaker and Mirana, right?
Oh, they could potentially still go aggro and then have a DP mid and a Panda short lane, or the other way around.
Okay, I believe Justin is a carry player.
Okay.
If it's the same Justin that I'm thinking of.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they have to use the bottom as a carry because they would have no support even as solos. I mean, it would be like Shaker and what, Panda supporting?
Oh, yeah, you're right. I was still thinking along the lines of the Venomancer. Okay. The Venomancer currently has support items. Justin should be playing the carry here. Bloody Nine playing the off lane. That does kind of make sense so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it is a Viper short lane.
What do you think about the Venomancer support? Because every single time we've seen Venomancer lately, he's been played as a core.
It's not too bad, but I don't like it that much either, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Justin, I believe, is the he's an old player. Not an old player, but he used to play for eHug during a short period of time. I had a long talk with him. Not with him, but with Pandago, the captain of the squad.
30 seconds.
He said Justin actually had a lot of potential, and if he could remake the team, it would actually be him and Justin, and searching for new players. So he said that this guy's got a lot of potential. He is a pretty calm player, learns from his mistakes pretty easily. Even though when he joined eHug, he was kind of new, he was able to very rapidly address the issues that they had with him and move on from there. So
that's a good quality to have.
Yeah.
Well, let's just keep an eye on him then, see what he does.
Well, we are going to have the Brewmaster offlane, which is going to be including the pretty typical Earthshaker block off in the beginning, just to be able to give the slight bit of laning advantage to the Earthshaker. Or sorry, to the Brewmaster, so the lane equilibrium will be pretty far forward because he has a very tough lane ahead of him. He's going up against the Viper Ancient Apparition combination.
Yeah. That is very nice, though. He managed to block only the melee creeps and let the range go still after the Fissure. That is very hard to do. It needs some practice.
Yeah, that's a really good point because you're not only getting lane equilibrium to go back, but you're also going to have it push forward after that point in time.
Well, in this scenario, it doesn't do it. But what I mean is that, when he Fissured here, all the creeps are standing in a straight line.
Right.
So they all start walking at once, and you need to block all of them. Well, you're behind as well, like you're next to them, you're not in front of them, so it's a bit hard.
Well, Na'Vi, they did a good block of their own. They're actually, the lane is going to be pushing out now as they were able to kill that range creep first. Meanwhile, the mid matchup is going to be a Razor versus the Death Prophet. Chobo, not entirely sure who he is, don't really recognize the name, but he is going to be suffering a little bit against the Razor. Death Prophet is not a hero that gets punished too heavily.
If you take a look at bottom right now, you'll notice that Ogre pulled without making sure that his other camp is not blocked. So he's doing a single pull basically, and that is going to push his lane.
Yeah, 1-4-3-7 eats the tree, goes for the pull through, and realizes, oh crap, that's gone. So now lane is going to push back into the favor of the Brewmaster once again. It's those little things as a support that can actually screw you up quite heavily, because if you feed those kind of early experience to a hero like a Brewmaster, he gets that little bit extra survivability, maybe gets his boots off of it or something like that. That can make the difference between him feeding away First Blood or not.
He could be buying boost now. Oh, yes. Yeah, this is only.
Korok, once again, pushing back the Death Prophet, is going to try and maintain some rune control with that Plasma Field. Is going to get himself a double damage in the top lane. Meanwhile, Brax is going to be our off-lane Furion, and his best thing is going to be trying to pull the creeps with his treants, but it doesn't look like the Earthshaker and Venomancer are really giving him too many opportunities. In fact, they've done a little double pull here that is going to be able to get. I like the fact that Fanny is holding on to his second level, trying to wait for the fact that he needs to know whether or not he needs to go for the Venomous Kale, which gives you more kill potential, or the Poison Sting, which gives you a lot more harassing potential.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Without
attack.
a Gale on free and they will never kill him, I think.
Yeah. Definitely shouldn't ever be able to get a solid block off, but Justin's going to be loving life here in the top lane. He's currently sitting at 10-4, so keeping in pace with the other heroes. Snaking, forcing back Bloody Nine deep underneath the tower. That is the power of having an orb. Middle lane, we have 1437 as well as Fogged, who are going to be wrapping around and catching out the Death Prophet in a quick and easy kill. That is going to be your first blood for Korok.
Yeah, that's really the advantage of having a Viper shot. Panda can't farm and he can't really gather information because Viper zones you mods.
Right.
So it's just hard to know what they're doing.
Yeah, Viper to some extent really is the epitome of the whole discussion about the meta that we were having earlier, which is it's all about winning the lanes, right? Because the mid game is so important.
And he does it alone.
Yeah, and he just basically solo. He just forces the Brewmaster back constantly while being solo, and that just leaves the two supports to be able to roam around the map and win the other lanes for you.
Whereas if you go other heroes like Luna or whatever, you need help.
Yeah.
And then your supports can't do other things like they want to.
Brewmaster, they're trying to block him up as much as possible. The poison attack is helping them. The double slow from Fogged. And Bloody Knight is actually going to turn around and try and kill Fogged, and he almost does it, leaving him with just 15 health on Fogged, but he barely does survive. Well played. Meanwhile, the wraparound behind the middle lane, both the Earthshaker and the Venomancer were searching for a kill onto Korok, but he actually made a rotation to the bottom rune just at the right time where he's going to find himself an invis.
I'm not exactly sure why he used it right away too. I'm guessing he wants to try and get a kill on DP now. He might actually get it because Shaker is pretty far.
Yeah, if he can just get close enough for the static link, he really doesn't need much. Right?
Yeah, he's waiting for Ogre.
Brax is going to come in from the side and guaranteed kill. Plasmic Field is going to be able to finish him off. The two supports are also coming in, but Fanny is also going to be dying here. So Aya Storm is right next to him, and he does die to the Ogre Magi who had that Ignite. What do you think about this Ogre pickup, by the way?
I don't know. The heroes it just seems too much lucky based, you know.
Yeah.
If you don't get multicast later on, he's not as effective. But if you get multicast, you might be killing a hero alone.
I do like the fact that he's exceptionally tanky, though. I mean, at the level 1 area, he is like the tankiest hero in the game due to his.
Look at the armor too.
Yeah, his armor, right? He's got the second highest starting armor in the game, I believe, and
the HP is huge.
Yeah, and his HP pool is just absolutely insane. But it looks like I was interested to see whether or not 1437 would try and go for like some sort of bloodless build with the Razor, since we do have like all right clickers here for Na'Vi US. All their cores are, to some extent, right clickers, so that attack speed and that movement speed could give heroes like Razor a big of an advantage.
Yeah, it probably makes a better difference on Viper, but it's excellent in Razor too. Yeah, for sure.
Bloody Knight going to return back to the bottom lane. He is sitting at level 5 right now, and doesn't really have much when it comes to CS. 3 last hits is all he's claimed so far. You compare that to the offlane Furion, who's currently sitting at 15-2 as he's farming up the jungle. He's still keeping in pace when experience, at least. The problem is he hasn't been able to get any last hits because even underneath the tower, Snake King has still been able to force him out with those orb attacks.
Yeah, I mean, I would have liked to actually see the rotations from them to be bottom instead of mid. I think they could have killed the Viper with the Panda easily. It's just, you hit one Gale and Viper should be done.
Earthshaker is playing a very dangerous game right now. I think he was kind of looking for a block there, but also didn't want to feed away his own life. And Death Prophet, well, Death Prophet doesn't even, like, even if he does use his Exorcism here, he only has 2 levels of Witchcraft, so it's a pretty piss-poor ult team right now.
Yeah, indeed.
1437 now getting some time. And okay, he's actually going to be getting at least some levels of Bloodlust, maybe going for a 4-1-4 build. I haven't actually like really looked at it, but I suppose the damage of just level 1 Ignite is pretty potent. As Earthshaker's barely able to dodge a gank there from Brax. Bottom lane, Moonlight Shadow going up. Brewmaster will be able to survive, and he's not actually going to be able to get off his ultimate arrow. No!
So close.
So close. Justin tried to leap and then throw out the arrow real quickly, but couldn't do it. Middle lane, Moonlight Shadow will also manage to save the Death Prophet, as Korok was diving in pretty deep against him. So pretty fortunate ultimate there, as it saved 2 different heroes. But unfortunately for them, Na'Vi US still have a very good control of this game right now, as they're already beginning to pressure down some of these other key towers. They already taken the tier 1 bottom lane, but Now they're going to try and take this tier 1 middle as well, knowing that Death Prophet is not a hero who's really ready to fight just yet, nor is the Brewmaster. As Korok's just going to teleport himself away. I mean, there are really no stuns here on the side of Dream Destroyers
exactly.
unless the Earthshaker's around or the Brewmaster pops his ultimate for it.
Look at top lane. Ogre is just zoning Shaker out just because he has mana boots. He can just keep spamming on him. So we can't really lane and get like farm or experience either.
Yeah. So level 1, Ignite, has a 20% slow and it does about 130 damage.
Yeah,
so
it's
that's
really strong.
That's actually pretty damn strong. I think that's actually absolutely worth just the one level point in it.
Yeah, this slow is amazing as well. It's not just damage. And it lasts for 5 seconds. That's a long time.
But he's trying to pick up his level 6, now has the multicast, and he does immediately go for the multicast instead of trying to level up any of his other abilities, which I think is pretty standard for a support ogre.
Yeah, especially with the quick mana, but it's definitely doing that.
Yeah. May give him the opportunity for a kill, and he may leave lane just to be able to give Fog some solo experience if the lane pushes out. Fog would love to be able to have his Ice Blast as well, which will, of course, give them a lot more kill power throughout the whole entire map, as both the Razor as well as the Viper just kind of fall just short of being able to kill some of these heroes right now.
I feel like they should be trying to smoke and get this mid tower right now, Na'Vi. They definitely have more experience on supports and more farm. Also, on their... Well, the Razor is doing just fine. It just feels like a really easy tower. They just have to go for it.
Yeah, just simply put, Dream Destroyers don't have the lineup to be able to actually fight right now, nor do they have the levels.
Yeah, exactly.
They're, as far as cores go, Mirana is the only hero that you could say could fight right now, but everybody else, especially the supports who are both lacking their ultimates, just can't really go for it. Arrow goes out, but it's a little too early there, and now Fanny's in some trouble to teleport away, and the teleport in from the Ogre is not going to be in time. They're unable to get out. Meanwhile, Squee was able to eat himself out from that Sprout, and will stay ahead of the Viper, at least for the time being. He still has a Fisher as well, so I highly doubt Na'Vi US are going to be going for a dive here.
Yeah, it's nice that they escaped, but right now they're still gonna lose the top tower, and they did lose their main tower as well.
Eraser also snuck around behind the Death Prophet and forced her back to base.
Yeah, exactly. So when DP is forced back to base, and you can't fight them on top, you lose another tower, and you still don't get anything in return. So it's basically, what, 2 towers in 2 minutes that they lost, and they got nothing in return.
Yeah, DD rapidly falling behind in pace is almost a 7,500 gold lead already for Na'Vi US. Middle lane, they're going to try and go on Korok here. Fisher being faked out, doesn't get the block. The arrow is also going to miss. Korok dodges everything there with a quick movement to the right. And, well, again, Dream Destroyers not getting anything in exchange for the tower going down.
Yeah, and they can just keep pushing top now too.
Yeah, why not force everyone from Dream Destroyers to come top if they want to. If not, they'll get this tier 2. Either way, even if all of Dream Destroyers do come top, I'm sure it's not going to be a very easy fight for them to defend this tier 2 tower.
Take a look at Ogre's Cult right now.
Wow. Where do you go from here as a support Ogre Magi? Do you go, I like mobility items, but is that the correct build? Fog?
Oh, I guess that's okay if you want to initiate.
Fog is going to be taken out quick and easy.
Or you could go Bloodstone, or you could go Aghanim's Force Staff. Anything that he wants, really.
I think Bloodstone is actually really legit on Ogre ever since they made the change where he actually always can cast his second Fireball. The problem was before, you just didn't have the mana because it was so expensive, that unrefined
Yeah, but now doesn't it like cut a lot of mana anyway, so?
Yes, it does, but it's percentage based. So I view it as like, okay, I can always cast that second Fireball.
Look at Korok, man, he's a man.
I know, right? He's just like, whatever, I can chase you down, Earthshaker, I got this, no problem. All the way underneath tier 4s. And he picks up a kill and just teleports himself away.
But to Aghanim Sonogre, I don't know about it. I mean, it feels like it's made to help the low mana pool in cases where you don't have too much mana. Not when you actually have a lot of mana. It's just how I feel, at least.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I look at it the same way. It's just, I feel like it used to be I could never cast it, ever, just because it was so much mana. It was just a stupid amount of mana, and you could never cast it, but percentage based, like now at least you always can, even if it does cost you healthy bit of your mana pool. Bottom lane, Snake King managed to dodge an arrow there. The Clap is still going to be able to hit, and they might be able to finish him off. Enchant Totem will put a stop to that teleport, and Snake King still staying one step ahead, but the last Mirana shot will finish him off. Meanwhile, though, yeah, tier 2 is going to fall. It's a small trade for Dream Destroyers, but certainly not worth it.
Tower is under attack.
We also have the Death Prophet, who's going to be forced back away from the middle lane as Korok controls that one. And simply put, this laning phase is just going so well for Na'Vi US that they are pushing down towers much earlier than they should be able to.
Definitely. But look at Ogre's Trace, man.
I like it. Get some levels in here. Get that level 3 multicast up as soon as possible.
Definitely.
Yeah. That way you can one-shot some of these guys.
But yeah, the Aghanims, it also encourages going Soaring, I guess.
Ah, that's
so you use your ultimate, you're out of mana, and then you Soaring and you have mana to stun again.
The Drums is going to be up soon for the Death Prophet. I say that. Drums already picked up by the Mirana. So...
Double drum strat?
Double jump strat. Fast movement speed for days. I don't know. I'm looking at this team and going, is the Eul Scepter really going to be that effective for you this game? Like, normally Death Prophet, Eul Scepter is one of your go-to items. Somebody else tries to get the mech, you get the Euls. But in this game, it seems like he can't even... Like, if he gets hit by a multicast, he's screwed. Viper just has that continued damage. Death Prophet still managed to teleport himself away. Justin's going to come in and try and finish up Brax, but unable to do so. Moonlight Shadow should be able to save him, especially with the Brewmaster helping zoning him out. The last Plasma Field damage, they do see him for a second. They will be able to finish him off just before that fate time. And now we're just left with the Brewmaster ultimate, which is going to be running itself away. Na'Vi US don't really care about it anymore. They're just here for the tier 2 tower.
But yeah, the Euls, I mean, against Viper is always good because you can possibly dodge his ultimate with it. So it's still worth it, I suppose. But he needs to go... He needs the HP and he needs armor too.
Yeah, for sure. Push in, a little bit of spam here and there, but it's not going to do too much against this Na'Vi US squad, who are all very, very tanky. I mean, they already have such naturally tanky heroes between the Razor and Viper. 1437 gets a little bit low, but this Ice Blast is going to be right on the mark to clip the Death Prophet and finish him off. The Plasma Field also doing a good amount of work. Justin trying to kill Snake King right before, does get it before Korok can finish him off. And now Korok, with all that extra damage, is looking for a target to go on, but he's too slow to catch up to anybody and will be forced just to back himself up. Still, though, Na'Vi US making the better of all of these engagements, always being able to get more kills and even towers.
But like, if you look at CS-wise, there's not too much of a difference, of course, except that Panda has no farm, but Fuyon has farm. But the mid and the carry have pretty much the same CS as Viper and Rouser. It just doesn't matter.
Oh, what a man! Oh,
the denied
from the Nature's Prophet. He might have actually gotten out. I don't know. It was pretty close. Now Brax is going to try and teleport away. Echo Slam and the Science will both put a stop to that one. Fanny can't actually get close enough to continue to slow down Brax. Ice Blast will hit the 2 in the back. Meanwhile, the Earthshaker taken down by the Ogre. Now we have the Death Prophet who pops the ultimate, but she's so low already, especially with the Ice Blast, that she quickly does fall to the Viper's right clicks, and same goes with the Venomancer. 14-5, Snake King getting a double kill, and dare I say it, I think Dream Destroyers are getting a bit destroyed in themselves and may call the GG here pretty soon. I
mean, take a look at the goal graph right now. Even though CS are pretty much quite equal, the goal graph, just the 6 towers they got and the kills.
Yeah.
It's too much.
The experience just exponentially climbing higher and higher. And look at that, 17 minutes in, they're already going to try and go uphill. Earthshaker going to do what he can to zone them out. But unfortunately, even if they do manage to like hold this game for a really long time, and maybe even like get some farm for themselves, Na'Vi US have really strong late game as well. Moonlight Shadow comes in. Counter Ward is going to be able to reveal some of them, but maybe a little bit too late. Snake King's going to be the first target here as the Brewmaster ultimate is pop. Ice Blast lands on 3, but Snake King will be falling here. It looks like the rest of his team is just going to back up and leave him alone. Korok jumps forward with the Plasma Field thrown up in the air, though. And the rest of Dream Destroyers, they're so low, they just have to get themselves out here. Korok looking for another plasma field, is up in just a second, but not going to be in time, especially with that silence. And he will run himself away. Once again, Dream Destroyers come surging back out. The multicast plus the plasma field, though, catches out the Death Prophet. And now their big damaging carry is gone, and nothing left to protect this tier 3.
And they're winning those fights without the Aghanims on both Razor and Viper. And Razor is flying it now, and Viper nearly has it as well. When they get those items, they're twice stronger or something.
Brax, not only did he deny Korok earlier, but this time he blocked him into the arrow, which is actually going to end up killing Korok, and Brax will clean up a kill in response. I think Brax is secretly trying to kill his teammates this whole entire game. I think that's his plan. He just wants to look as good as possible in comparison.
Ogre's going for the Rod of Fate as well. What a boss.
He is. Nice. Bloody Nine trying to get close enough. If he can get this kill, it'll mean a Blink Dagger. But the additional slow, that maxed out Ice Vortex, is actually giving Fogged enough room to get away from the Brewmaster, but not enough to get away from Justin's Marana, as he is taken down. And Bloody Nine will finally be able to get himself a Blink. And do they have... there's no other items that really change in this game for them.
Nope.
So Blink is all it's going to be, but even if he does jump in, go to clap in his ultimate, he's just so underleveled right now. The Na'Vi US squad is so overfarmed that they could just turn and kill the Brewlings. Like, he has to actually be really careful with them, which is not normal to say this early on into the game.
Definitely not, but in this game...
Yeah, fairly one-sided. Big old Ice Blast is going to be heading its way into the middle lane to catch as many heroes as possible. Fogged is currently the only hero that is in net worth, not sitting above every single member of Dream Destroyers right now. As Ogre
Midas, Value Midas.
I was about to say, Ogre just dropped in net worth, but that's because he was dropping his items. Now he's got his full Rod of Atos. What a man. Come with me. Did you tell him to go? A Rod of Atos?
No, not this time. I told Snakey to play Meeple and buy Rod of Atos. But he told me to shut the fuck up, so I gave up on that one.
Top lane, they got a pick off. Rax actually ends up dying, so the team killer gets picked off by Dream Destroyers. But maybe this opportunity. Korok, Justin, he's got enough movement speed to get away. Anyway, arrow comes down. Korok almost getting hit by that one. Clap is going to go down, and he immediately teleports himself away. Once again, reading the situation.
Yeah, man, like Korok has been dodging everything.
Yeah, he's dodging arrows, teleporting away under clutch
this
circumstances.
pixel clutch moves, man. Really well played.
Ridiculous. Now the 3 members of Na'Vi US who are still out and about are going to go to the Roshan pit. Snake King's already working his way through that one. Finished up his Aghanims recently. Fog, meanwhile, is working on his Ags, and of course we know about that Rod of Atos. Aghanims on the Razor, and what has Brax got? He's got himself a Maelstrom. Was 1-4-3-7 trying to snag that one? I think he was.
No, but Razor just got the last hit in the plasma field.
Oh, he did. Korok blocked out, silenced up as well. There goes the clap. The Brewmaster's actually going to pop his ultimate here, but the Venomancer has already been blown up by the Ogre Magi, who got a nice little multicast. The Brewmaster will actually run himself away with his Brewlings, and that's the last thing in the world you want to see, is the Brewmaster ultimate being used so people can escape.
And the fact that they kill Veno and not like bottom or something is actually great for them, because it means there's no wards to defend.
Yeah, one of the most obnoxious abilities to push into right now.
Yeah.
Would be those maxed out surplus.
Look at this slow, look at this slow.
Yeah.
He can't move.
He's not going anywhere. Oh, what an Echo Slam. Squee comes in, does a large amount of damage. This could be the first one fight for them. There goes the Aegis. Chobo is sticking around here, but he's so low health. He can't stay around for long. As the Eye Blast is actually going to try and pursue. It's actually going to catch the Death Prophet inside of the fountain. Catches him, takes him out. 2 heroes down, and now a 3rd and a 4th, with the Marana now falling. And Korok left alive with just a sliver of health, but that's all he needs to get the Brewmaster kill as well. And now they'll turn on the Raxes. GG, go next, says Fanny, as Na'Vi US just wiped the floor with Dream Destroyers in this first game.
That was the most weird leap I've seen. He just lived to his own death, literally. And for no reason, actually.
I have to say, haven't really heard of Dream Destroyers too much, and then I checked their roster and saw some names I recognized, and I thought, okay, maybe they're one of the up and
It wasn't really bad, right? They just needed like better early movement on the supports, and then the game could have been a lot more even than it is.
Yeah, honestly, it comes down to just the current playstyle right now. Really lends itself to games being extremely one-sided. So.
But they shouldn't really give Viper and Razor both to Navi because they know how to abuse those things, and they have really good individual skill. So it's better if you just give them, I don't know, not so strong heroes in the meta.
Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully Dream Destroyers are going to be listening to this last bit of the cast as they get themselves into game 2, and we'll rethink their draft a little bit. So stick around, guys. The second game of the day for the Dota 2 Champions League, Na'Vi versus Dream Destroyers. Game 2 coming up next.